first time competing in the contest because this was the first contest that the club had held. It was also my first time doing the evaluation. So my very first time evaluating and directly competing in a contest was an amazing experience because not did I amaze everyone else with my evaluation skills, it was also a surprise for me to make so many discoveries within myself that, okay, I had these much analytical skills and I was this good at evaluating and assessing others. And you never know, so many people here competing for the first time, evaluating for the first time, would lead to amazing discoveries, and next year, one of you might be here standing in my place and welcoming all of the guests next year, inshallah. So a big round of applause for all of the participants. And not only this, but experiences like this are also a testament to the progress that Karachi Toastmasters Club has been making so far. Moving on, let's start with the contest and with the rules and regulations. Though I have messaged all of the contestants and I believe that all of the contestants have read the rules and regulations so far, we all know that this contest would start with a 5 to 7 minute prepared speech by the test speaker, and the test speaker will be revealed at that time only. Contestants will then have 5 minutes to make their notes. The notes, the evaluation sheet on which the contestants are supposed to make their notes will be provided by the club. All the contestants will then, after the test speaker has delivered the speech, they will have 5 minutes to make their notes, after which they will submit their note sheet as well as their cell phones to the Sergeant at Arms, who is Toastmaster Imran. And then all contestants will leave the hall, are required to leave the hall except for the first contestant. So all of the contestants are aware of their order of speaking. Are all of the contestants aware? Yes? Okay. So the first speaker, except for the first speaker, all of the speakers are requested to leave the hall. After that comes the time of the evaluation. So it's one speaker against so many evaluations. In order to qualify for the evaluation, we can see that the timer is right in front of you. For the timing, the evaluation must be a minimum of 2 minutes. So when 2 minutes have lapsed, the green light will be turned on. Timer, can you turn on the green light? And it will be turned on till 2 minutes 30 seconds. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, the yellow light will be turned on. And then the red signal will be turned on at 3 minutes. After that, there will be no ringing of bell or any other signal to indicate the disqualification. 3 minutes 30 seconds is the disqualification, but after the red light has been turned on, no evaluator will be indicated in whatsoever direction that there has been a disqualification. So you need to sum up and summarize with your evaluation as soon as possible. Coming towards the protest and the disqualifications, protests are limited to the eligibility and originality and shall only be lodged by voting judges and contestants. Any protest should be lodged with the chief judge and or contest chair prior to the announcement of the winner and the alternate. Before a contestant can be disqualified on the basis of originality, the contestant must be given an opportunity to respond to the voting judges. A majority of the voting judges must concur in the decision to disqualify. The contest chair can disqualify a contest on the contestant on the basis of eligibility. All decisions of the voting judges and qualifying judges are final. The reporting time is, okay, yeah. So this was the criteria for the eligibility so far. Is there anything that's missing amongst the rules, or is there anything that any contestant wants to ask regarding the rules and procedures of the contest and how will we commence with the contest? Yes.
The names of the contestants, the order of the speaking order.
Should I repeat it right now? The order.
One by one, it will be called one by one. Since
Have to give us.
okay, no issue, no issue, no issue.
The first speaker is Mohammad Raza Khan. The second speaker is Toastmaster S.M. Jamal. The third speaker is Toastmaster Javed Bharti.
So we and the timers have to come together.
First speaker, Mohammad Raza Khan. Mohammad Raza Khan. Second speaker, Toastmaster Ehsan Jamal. Ehsan Jamal. Third speaker, Toastmaster Javed Bhatti. Toastmaster Javed Bhatti. Fourth speaker, Toastmaster Syed Najam Rizvi. Syed Najam Rizvi. Fifth contestant, Toastmaster Sheikh Faisal Zahir. Sheikh Faisal Zahir. Sixth contestant, Toastmaster Abbas Shabir Marvi. Abbas Shabir Marvi. Seventh contestant, Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan. Hiba Rais Khan. Eighth contestant, Toastmaster Naveenta Karan. Naveenta Karan. Ninth contestant, Syed Bakar Raza Jafri. Syed Bakar Raza Jafri. 10th contestant, Mohammad Asghar. Mohammad Asghar. 11th contestant, Toastmaster Urusa Kaval. Urusa Kaval. 12th contestant, Babar Ali Hasnain. Babar Ali Hasnain. 13th contestant, Shehzad Mubashir. Shehzad Mubashir. 14th contestant, Toastmaster Imran. Fourteenth contestant, Toastmaster Rashid. Toastmaster Rashid. 15th contestant, Toastmaster Shamsuddin Memon. Shamsuddin Memon. With that said, it's 6:58 right now. We have a 10-minute tea and namaz break. We will resume right at 7:10 inshallah.
I just want to ask that all the contestants are in the good standing and they have paid the dues and everything international. Have you checked it?
Morning. Alright. The test speech, the timings for the test speech are 5 to 7 minutes. When 5 minutes at 5 minutes, the green light will be turned on by the timer. At 6th minute, the yellow light will be turned on by the timer, and at the 7th minute, the red light will be turned on by the timer. Please welcome with a good big round of applause the test speaker of the day, Toastmaster Rabia. Her speech title is "It's Okay If Someone Doesn't Like You." I repeat, speech title, "It's Okay If Someone Doesn't Like You." Toastmaster Rabia.
Can you hear me? Yeah, sure. Should I start? No one likes me, everyone hates me. I think I go eat worms. Big quack, juicy worm, eeny meeny teeny worms. See how they wiggle and squirm. No one likes me, everyone hates me. Very good morning, good evening, the distinguished guest and the fellow Toastmaster. Just I sung a poem in which it described that there are so many phases in the life of human being. Sometimes we feel that we are the useless person in the world and there is no use to be lived anymore. And it happens in our daily lives. There was a girl who wanted every day to make people happy, to make people satisfied with her thinking, with her decision and with her actions, which is obviously not possible. After many years, she realized that it is not possible. We cannot keep everyone happy at the same time. Sometimes we feel that it is ridiculous to be lived in this world. We should not live anymore. We feel so hurted, and it happens in our daily lives. God has given us two hands, and if we want to grab everything in our hands, it's not possible. Something will definitely drop down from our hands. The same thing, we should accept it. We should realize it. There are many moments when we feel that it should not be happened with me. There are many moments which we feel that why it is happening to me? What is my fault in this way? And we get so much scared. Sometimes we feel that somebody is, what happened if somebody come to you and say, I don't like your ideas. If your boss come and say that your opinion is completely rejected. What happened if your friend come to you and say, I don't like you. And somebody come to you and say, I don't even love you. Something breaks here. It hurts you. It is very painful to express this feeling in front of others. Because at that time, you feel that somebody is making you, dividing you into many pieces and smashing you all and throw it in a way that you cannot even find yourself. Here, this is the time you need to wake up. My dear friends, you need to be yourself. You need to motivate yourself to do the better work in future assignments, in future lives. You need to tap your shoulder by yourself that yes, whatever you are doing is right. If you are comfortable, if you are confident, if you are relaxed, if you are satisfied with your actions and decisions, no matter whether people like you or dislike you. And if you agreed this yes, you are taking this risk to be disliked with the people, by the people. So it will give you many advantages. The first advantage is it allows to you to be true to yourself, because when you know yourself better than anyone else. You know whatever you are doing has some purposes, have some rationale behind it. That's why you are doing. You are some way or other contributing to the society. That is, you know. So to be true to yourself. The second advantage is it gives you a power to say no. We are very soft-hearted people, right? And somebody come and ask you for giving him or her a favor, we very much pleasure to give this favor to her or him. Because we think that if we will say no, what she or he will think about me. But when you decided to be disliked by the people, you say, no, I don't have this expertise in this assignment, so I can't do it. You will have a power to say no because you have the rationale in your mind. The third advantage is it will allows you to explore yourself, because you will now start reflecting on your actions, which will improve your decisions in future. It will allow you to meet yourself, which is very important in this life. And the fourth advantage is that you will express your feeling, your thoughts, without having any fear that what people think about me. So, you need to gain all these advantages by taking one decision, no matter whether people like you or dislike you. And remember, my dear friends, there is only one person in the world who can help you in developing your personalities, and that is you. You only can develop your personality. You only can find the ways to go on and move on in this world. You are the person who can join all these broken pieces together again and spread this smell to all over the world. You are the person who can lead the world. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia. The contestants now have 5 minutes to prepare their notes. The timer is requested.
It's okay if someone does not like you, fellow Toastmasters and guests. There are speakers who speak from their mind. We remember them. And there are speakers who speak to our hearts. And this is what exactly happened with me. TM Rabia came over here and spoke. If it's okay if someone does not like you. You need, like you spoke, directly you started with your personal story to sum up my life with a very powerful message that connected the audience all at once. The audience sitting here were engaged in your story. Now let me tell you what I loved about your storytelling. You're a master at that. A very good storyteller. First you create the vivid imagery over here about the good poetry. You started off the good poetry like Evi, Chin and all that. You used as, I guess, Chinese words. I don't know the meaning as well, but that perfectly you added the thing, and that was a kind of hook for the audience. Audience engaged at whatsoever you're speaking. Then you started off speaking in your English or whatsoever your speech was. And then you started off that why it is happening with me, why everybody is not liking me. It's okay if everybody is okay, if anyone does not like you. That was your topic. I really like that topic, it was catching, it was a kind of simple topic, and you delivered very effectively. Then stage crafting. You were standing over here, positioning yourself over here, then you took the flower, then you moved this side of the stage. So ultimately you used entire stage, but you did not let us know that you are using the stage. And that was a very good quality of a storyteller. Now, everybody must be wondering that why I'm all praise. Why I'm praising her all the time. Now, most of these speakers, they need all the time appreciation. They deserve appreciation. The person who is Toastmaster, he always been appreciated. Because the Toastmaster is a place you always have a chance to grow and chance to learn all the time. Let me summarize with your speech. It was good storytelling. It was heart gripping. We enjoyed a lot. Now, let me tell you 2 points you need to cover that. That your stage stance was one leg. It was standing like this. That was one leg stance. You need to improve that. It should be like this. Alright, and your vocal variety was, I personally felt that was good, but you need to follow, but you need to improve it a lot. Now, remember that might not have been a normal speech, but this might not have been a normal evaluation. Over to you, contestant.
1 minute of silence.
Sheets.
I would now like to call the second contestant, Toastmaster Ehsan. Toastmaster Ehsan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Rabia, you delivered a very heart-touching speech with the title, It's Okay If Someone Doesn't Like You. And right from the time I heard the title, I was hooked with the subject. Because at some level I can personally relate to that topic. You started with a melodious jingle that ended at a very dramatic point. And then you built your speech from that point onwards, giving example of a girl. Then you led them to 4 advantages of this situation. And throughout your speech, you wonderfully converted a negative feeling into a positive one. And that was something that, for that I was hooked right till the end. during your speech, there are few things that I liked a lot. First of all, you were prepared with the mic. The moment your name was announced, you had your mic ready, you came in and you started delivering. And most of the time we have seen that this is the biggest distraction when the speech is started. Your body posture was very well balanced. You were using your hand gesture very well. Especially there were points where you were using some words like useless, and those body hand gestures were very they delivered the meaning of what you were trying to convey over there. You had very good eye contact with the audience. I could see that you were focusing on each and every one at the front and at the back as well. However, in terms of you also use flower and flower petals to show some gestures, and that was very effective. However, I think the placement of those flowers was not right, because it was creating a distraction when you went over there to pick those up, and it was causing a delay in your speech, and there was no need for dustbin over here. I mean, they will clean it up. You could have made it, you could have thrown them like that. I think in terms of voice, I saw very good variations of voice, but there were some unnecessary pauses at certain points. In terms of content, you use some very wonderful phrases, like at one point you use, it is very painful to express this feeling. And you stress on the word painful, and we could feel that pain in your words that related to that. When you explain advantages, well, those 4 advantages were very helpful, but initially you said you were about to tell about 3 advantages, but then you went on and told about 4 advantages. And in the end, you probably could have repeated those advantages. You could have recapped that. It was a good opening, and it was a good body structure of your speech. Probably the end was a bit abrupt. You could have ended in a more effective manner. But all in all, a very inspiring speech, a very good lesson. Just focus on the positives that you already have and try to improve these small little things, and you will be an outstanding speaker shortly. Thank you.
1 minute of silence for the judges. I would now like to call the 3rd contestant, that is Toastmaster Javed. Toastmaster
Hang on for a minute.
Toastmaster Javed.
Toastmaster Javed.
So time start. there's always a first time for everything. And tonight is the first time for me to be presenting an evaluation in front of you people. But tonight is not about me, it's about Team Rabia. Team Rabia, you delivered a very good speech. It was very powerful, and I think that it has a connection with all of the people present here. And the content was very strong, it has a great message, and you delivered it very impactfully as well. But there are a few areas of improvement that I have noticed. One of which was you were struggling with some of the grammatical words. You made some mistakes, which I felt that if you could have improved upon, like there was a use of word where there should have been a word was, you used will. So there was some confusion, and when you came on the stage, you did not say any greetings. So it is good if you could use some greetings. It makes us feel comfortable as well. And the other area which I feel was this rose, this flower, it was away from the audience side. So when you went on here and tried to grab it, I lose the connection between your content and this prop. If you could have just put it over here or in your hair, it would have made much more impact, and I would have made the connection between the content and the point you were trying to make by this prop. That was another thing. The other point that I think you use some great lines in your speech. Just like there was a use of a line, God has given us 2 hands. But I noticed that you are very limited in your body language. You could have opened up, you could have used raised voice, it would have created more impact, and it would have created much better connection with the audience. Apart from that, I must commend you. It was first time for me seeing you, and the only way to know you was through your speech. And I did get to know you a little bit, and I congratulate you on your speech. Thank you so much. Over to you.
1 minute of silence for the judges. I would now like to call the next contestant, Toastmaster Naja. Toastmaster Naja.
Contest Chair, Honorable Judges, guests, and fellow club members. Today we had a speech from Toastmaster Rabia on it's okay if someone doesn't like you or doesn't like me. She showed great enthusiasm, started off with a song or a rhyme, and she spoke about the phases of human life that we go through. Like, we want to be liked by everybody, but it's not necessarily that everybody would like us. We can't make everyone happy, and and we shouldn't try maybe. She used very good, she made very good use of her voice by raising it, and she also used the stage very well. She had a flower as an audiovisual aid. She then, at the end of her speech, toward the end, she gave us 4 examples why we shouldn't insist on people trying to make people like us. And one was gives you a purpose, power to say no, meet yourself, know yourself, and no fear of what you think. Now these are the 4 lessons that she said she would come out with adopting such an approach to life. But while this was the crux of the speech, maybe she should have given more examples or pragmatic examples. And the other question that came to my mind was that, is this approach really pragmatic in life? Because we are social beings, we need to be liked, we need to be accepted. So what I would suggest that she should have given practical example how, except for one example, and I have like the power to say no. I mean, that's a real life issue that at office sometimes or at home we are confronted with. We are asked to do this, and sometimes we don't want to be disliked, so we say yes, okay, we'll do it. So we have the competence, or we have the ability to do it, or the time to do it. We sometimes accept these obligations. Other than that, no fear of what others think. But how is it that we wouldn't fear what others think, that we are social beings? And apart from this suggestion, more practical examples. The other thing I would like to say is that maybe when she wrote out her speech, she should have tried to improve the grammar of it. A lot of examples like hurted, when she used hurted, it should have been hurt. Come and comes were a bit interchanged. Allow and allows you. So if that sort of an excellent, outstanding speech. But these things tend to distract from a good speech. So I would just recommend that in future when you do a speech like this or any project speech, write it down and then check out the grammar before you write. Over to you. Interesting.
1 minute of silence to the judges. I would now like to call our next contestant, Toastmaster Faisal. Toastmaster Faisal.
I would like to congratulate the speaker on giving a very relevant and a very inspiring speech. There were many things which I observed and which I liked in the speech. At the beginning, she started with a song or a rhyme, and that immediately grabbed our attention. She made good eye contact with both sides of the room, and she did this throughout the duration of the speech. And that obviously helps to develop a connection with the audience. She had good vocal variety. very apparent when she was trying to explain the person who feels that they are being rejected for no valid reason. She used good and effective gestures which were wide, and she used good gestures. And the thing which I liked the most about the speech was that the topic of the speech and the content of the speech, it is very relevant in today's day and age, when everybody is addicted, or maybe even more than addicted, to the approval that they want from outside of themselves. So that, I think, is at least what I liked the most about the speech, is that the topic of the speech and the content of the speech is extremely relevant in today's day and age. Obviously, like other speeches, this speech can also be improved, and for that I also have a few suggestions. The speaker listed a number of benefits of changing our thinking from someone who is always looking for approval from the outside to being more strong within ourselves. So she gave a list of benefits, but it could have been better if she could have shared some methods or ways that we can use to actually make that change. I think the speaker could also have involved the audience in the speech by asking questions, and especially at the end, because what the speaker is asking us to do is not something which is easy. It is something which is difficult, because it is against our habits and it is against the current cultural norms. So she could have asked for a commitment from the audience. Like, are you with me? Are you going to make this change? She could have asked the audience, and she could have gotten a commitment. And I think one of the things she could have done to improve her speech is to, rather than giving a list of items, she could have shared a story, and it would have been ideal if the story would have been from her own life, because that would have had more passion, more emotion, and the audience would find it more believable. I think the time is going to run out, so I have to end. Thank you.
One minute of silence for the judges.
पेपर कहाँ लग रहा है
Invite the next contestant, that is Toastmaster Abbas. Toastmaster Abbas.
Audience, judges, can you hear me? Yeah? Blue shirt, white shirt? Good. It was really a mood uplifting speech. You were telling about the difference of opinions. If someone likes you or it doesn't like you, how you should be reacting. Yeah, it was an opinion. Initially, you started with a theme, a song, more like poetry. The voice, the wavelength was similar. All right. Then, with time, when the song started, the poetry started, there was the energy coming into the rhythm started developing. The expression initially about the happiness was you were excited initially, but when you were telling about the pause moment, when you were talking about the sadness, you paused a bit. If there was more energy during the sadness, because when you talk about sadness, you lower the voice, right? And you're talking about happiness, the energy, the excitement comes on the face, the body language. You keep on moving, especially the people's eye, आँखों की काले जिसको कहते हैं. The wavelength was similar initially, and when he said why it happens to me, there was serious amount of energy coming from the body, and she was moving here and there. She started tearing the paper. That was really good. It was really impressive, and you could notice the frustration not only in the volume, the words, but also in the body language, the facial expression. You start developing those expressions, the anger, all the work coming out of your body. That was really good. Your opinion was regarding when the boss rejects you. You know, when you talk about work, it's more corporate, and you have to express your way in a different way. So it's a rejection, it's an opinion. So you have to appreciate that. You mentioned that how you can uplift yourself, but there were 4 ways, but you didn't mention how to do it. Expressions, you said you highlighted and it was full of energy and vocal variety. Hand gestures were limited. Done. That was quick. You highlighted about the refugees. You only know about that you should know about yourself to know about your potential. But how to know about your potential, how to search for the energy within you, the matter which actually matters to uplift yourself, that should also be part of the speech. Thank you so much.
1 minute of silence for the judges. I would now like to invite the next contestant, Toastmaster Evaluaton.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, contest chair, and judges. The evaluation that I made is as follows. The speaker could have had a proper start with a good solid greeting. During the course of the speech, she had good gestures and hand movements to emphasize what she was saying. good eye contact with the audience during the speech. She narrated. She had a good overall body movement throughout the speech and concluded the story well. However, I felt that apart from a few positives, her negatives were also present. She did not have a proper solid greeting to address the audience. During the speech, she had problems in grammar and pronunciation. I also felt she could have moved around more in the area allocated for the speech. And I also felt that her voice was more nasal and could be more clear and appropriate. She also lacked a bit of vocal variety in the speech she made, and there was also faltering which could be eliminated. And I also felt that she lacked a bit of, her beginning was not very good. And in the end, I would like to say that she should work on her vocal variety, improving her nasal voice, and she should also eliminate her grammar and improve her pronunciation of the speech. Thank you.
One minute of silence for the judges. I would now like to call the next contestant, Toastmaster Navita. Toastmaster Navita.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. So, dear Toastmaster Rabia, the title of your speech was so much thought-provoking. As the title came, I was like, it's very nice. Like when the title appears in your mind, your mind works so fast that what's going to be the next thing. It's okay if someone doesn't like you. You started with a very beautiful and confident way. You started with a poem, a rhyme, and music I think is always the best way to engage audience because everybody loves music. And you informed the audience about the importance of being yourself, how you are important, whether somebody likes you or not. It's like what is important, priorities is about yourself. Yeah. Your words were clear and audible, but I found like maybe because of the mic that it needs to be more clarity, like it needs to be more clarified because there were merging of some words. There was a lack of pauses in between the words. Well, your eye contact was mainly towards the center. I felt being missed by your eye contact. You was not engaging the right and the left side of yours. Your gestures were very well conducted very well with your speech. The way you turn the petals of the roses and then you showed that the complete rose as a beautiful person and the one who motivates yourself. That was very nice. Audience was very well aware of the topic and you presented very beautifully. Well, I feel that you must have used the stage more nice way. Like I feel was okay. It could be more important. Like the areas where you excel are the gestures, audience awareness, and interest. You need to work on your clarity and eye contact. And I guess usage of stage could be more better. And you can like the speech I found was a little bit flat. It was not the up and downs that I could feel more interested on it on deep. So content ordering or layering could be more better. So thank you for such a wonderful speech.
One minute of silence for the judges.
I would now
Like to call the next contestant, Toastmaster Bakar. Toastmaster Bakar.
GM Rabia is a very powerful speaker, and she started his speech with a poem. And she has a very nice voice quality, and after the poem, she gave us the title of his speech, which is It Doesn't Matter if Somebody Liked Me or Not. And upon describing the title, she also started the organization of her speech into this segment, that she told us about 4 advantages of having confidence in you and having this thing known about you, that you are the only driver or you are the only motivator of yourself. She used a very good hand movement during her speech. Her hands are not stiff. She is using both of her hands. She also utilized the space in a very well manner. She is moving between this space, and she was well prepared for speech, as she already arranged her dustbin and she had a flower with her. She is also using the vocal variety, and when she used the statement, why it has happened to me, so she screamed at that point. So she has already arranged his speech into various segments in which she can use different vocal varieties. And the research shows, we all know that when you are demonstrating in front of somebody, as she has arranged a flower and she torn into pieces and put it into the bucket or the dustbin. So research shows that whenever you are showing your audience something, so they are engaged in your speech or talk. So she has used a very good tool for engagement of audience. At the start, her engagement level with audience very high, but in the in the mid of the speech, it is looked at her speech. She looks very distracted. When she wrap up her speech, she with the 4th advantage. So she said that you can develop your own personality, and she gave emphasize on this statement. So she had already identified some of the very useful quotations or the keywords or the phrases for her speech. However, she forgotten to summarize the speech in the end, the 4 advantages, and closing is not very well. She need to improve that area, that the closing is just like the finishing of any wall, so she need to improve that area. And at the end, she was so over emotional that her body is shivering by saying that you are the motivator and you are the driving force. So she is not under her control. That's all from my side. Thank you.
1 minute of silence for the judges. I would now like to call our next contestant, Toastmaster Asghar. Toastmaster Asghar.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Rabia, for your thought-provoking speech. The title of your speech grabbed our attention. I don't know whether it was a conspiracy or a deliberate attempt by a contest chair, but you won your first battle before you came here on the stage. So, thank you very much for your speech. You fulfilled all main element of your speech, such as structure, content, translations, and variety of your tone. Your structure flowed progressively throughout the speech, and I like also the content. The content was very good, and you did not miss any vital element during your speech. Regarding the voice variety, I like the pitch when you said, "Why this happened to me?" I mean, the body gesture on that specific action, I really liked it. And in the body gestures also, you said, in one occasion you said, "I don't even love you, no matter when people like you or not." By saying the appropriate sentence, you use the appropriate or specific actions through your body language that really went down well among the audience. You can make this speech even greater by injecting some humor in your speech. As we all know that humor is something which helps us to get our point across clearly. Lastly, what I missed really is a strong conclusion. You can tie up each narrative element of your speech into a powerful conclusion. That was something I felt missing. Now, in the end, let me wrap up by saying that once again, congratulations for the good speech with good content, excellent and exceptional title, and you can improve this speech, make it a greater one by injecting some humor and coming with an impactful conclusion. So thank you.
1 minute of silence for the judges. to call our next contestant, Toastmaster Urusa. Toastmaster Urusa.
Can everyone hear me? Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, well, I'm really known for giving the smallest of evaluations. So today I'll try to make the green light. DM Mariam, your speech, let me take this. The topic of your speech was emotional and actually touching. It's okay if someone doesn't like you. Someone doesn't like me and it's okay. So I'd like to go ahead. Your vocal variety throughout the speech was awesome, I would say, especially at the point where you shrieked and in the different spaces, like why this happened with me. Awesome variety. Your opinion is completely rejected. That could have been a little better, but that was also really good. In other spaces, I would say, this is the time you wake up. That time you felt really alive with the flow of your speech and with the flow of your words. Plus, some improvements that I would like to mention. The opening of your poem, the opening of your speech, sorry, the poem that you used, it could have been a little more clearer, or it could have been, if you would have used the writer of that poem, I think that would have made a better opening. Whenever you were saying you, the word you, sometimes your hands were gesturing downwards. So if that gesture would have been front, sideways, or at some person, I think that would have been a little more better gesture. Your topic was really excellent. I feel your topic could have created conversation with people. Especially at the point where you said it will give you the power to say no. That point in your speech could have been a question from people. Do you people have the power to say no? If you could have asked that question, that would have created conversation with the audience. Let me summarize the whole thing. The most powerful gesture you used came out in the end, which was you again. So your story or your speech was, it's okay if someone doesn't like you, and that you actually came out in the end. So I'd like to give the whole thing back to the contest chair and excellent speech.
1 minute of silence.
For the judges, 1 minute of silence. I would now like to call our next contestant, Toastmaster Babar Ali Hussain. Toastmaster Babar Ali Hussain.
Thank you, Team Murray. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and the contester, a very warm welcome to the session. I would like to begin with my evaluation with a disclaimer for our honorable speaker. Whatever I say, it's my opinion. Take what you like, and what you don't like, just pretend you like it. You started your project with the poem, which was a wonderful attention getter that kept us changed from the very beginning. Then your body language, it was wonderful. It was completely in line with the content of your speech. Facial expressions, I think you really excelled at that. Your expressions were really good when you were reading out the poem. You were telling advantages. That your facial expressions were very versatile. Then fluctuation in the voice, I think that is another strength you have. Fluctuation in the voice was very good, completely conveying whatever you were saying. Like when you said why it is happening to me, that fluctuation in the voice, that was perfectly in line with the content. Moving on to the eye contact, I think you had a great eye contact. You kept on moving your eyes throughout the hall. I found it slightly centered in the middle for some time, but the eye contact was throughout the hall. Then one thing that most of the speakers really don't focus on is the pauses in the speech. Your pauses were very meaningful. Let us absorb the content, convey the message, and let us think about what you are saying. That gives ample time to reflect on what the content of the speech is. A few things I think you should work on to excel at your public speaking skills. First of all, your meaningful movements, where you could have made more meaningful movements. For example, you were telling us the advantages. First advantage, then second advantage, third one, fourth one, something like this. That would have made more impact on the public. Then the area you were allotted, what I observed was you used it only once to move around the area allotted. Like this is your area, you need to conquer it. So it's better you move around, keep the audience engaged, and leave a more meaningful message. One thing, one more thing that you might work on is the grammatical structure. Maybe you can consult your mentor for that, and you can make improvements in the structure, grammatical structure of the sentences. Additional tools for engaging the audience, like using the flower basket, that was really impressive. I really liked that. At the end, I would like to give you a few advices. That is, use more of the allotted area, and I would say congratulations on the giving such a wonderful speech. Looking forward to learn more from you. Thank you.
1 minute of silence for the judges. The next contestant we have is Toastmaster Shehzad. Toastmaster Shehzad.
sleepless nights and countless hours have you spent thinking about why is that person not speaking to me correctly? Did I do something wrong with him? Did I hurt his feelings? What is the reason for the attitude change that he has towards me? Fellow Toastmasters and cadets and contestants, Dear Rabia touched upon a very important topic, a topic that perhaps touches the lives of each and every one of us, perhaps on a daily basis. The message that she conveyed was very powerful, leading to self-confidence in each one of us. It's okay if anybody does not like you. It's up to him. Why should I change myself? Of course I should change myself, but within certain limits and certain norms. I can't change myself because that some person doesn't like me. The message that she conveyed was very strong and very powerful. And I think that she did a wonderful job. Her eye contact was excellent. Her space utilization was very good. She moved around the stage in a very nice manner. And I thought that she was speaking to each and every participant of this meeting. However, there are certain things that I would like to recommend, or I would like to have seen. The starting that she made by reciting a poem. I think that the wording should have, in that poem should have been a bit clear because I couldn't hear what she said. Because that was the beginning, that was the basis of her whole speech. Another thing that I would have liked to see was that she lost some words in between. Some words, the pronunciation somewhere was perhaps that could have been made a bit better. That would have added a better feel to her narrative. That was what I think that she would have improved upon. One more thing that I noticed was that when she went to the dais to pick up the flower twice, once to leave it there, once to pick it up, perhaps she could have kept the flower in her hand or in a pouch somewhere, so that when she goes there to pick it, the narrative doesn't break. It should have been on a continuous basis. And the story that she did, it should have a personalized message in it. She could have told a story about herself, about a story of her oneself or someone near to her, and where she could have took us along, saying that okay, that person did this to me, but why should I change my outlook? And I can say that okay, that if that person doesn't like me, it's okay with me. A personalized message in that story would have been better. Perhaps she could have added quote to it. So overall, the speech was very good. The message was very strong. While there was some areas of improvement that could take her to the next level. Thank you.
1 minute of silence for the judges. The next contestant is Toastmaster Rashid Asali. Toastmaster Rashid.
Madam Contest Chair, anonymous judges, and lovely audience, and the guest speaker. These were the thoughts in my mind when I was listening to her speech. A wonderful speech, wonderful delivery, with full of excitement and confidence. I like to congratulate you on giving such a brilliant speech and inspiring us all. We all need feedback how we improve. That's how we improve. Not me, but Bill Gates said. So that's why I have to highlight few areas of improvement. Starting from your speech, your opening was really attention grabbing because you started with the poem and you showed your voice modulation. Though I admit that I could understand a little. Then you jump to your message, and first you talk about the feeling when you are not able to say no, and then why you should say no, and then benefits of saying no, and then in the end this way you can become happy. It's a very good message. So I was just thinking, if I have listened to your speech earlier, I would have said no to my sergeant at arms who convinced me to participate in this contest. But I also think of the consequences if I say no to my wife. Now to body language. You started from the middle, that's a good. And then during your speech, you are moving a little bit. So you are fluent in your delivery, also in your walk. So though moving is good, but I would recommend move with a purpose, because with frequent moving, audience may get distracted. Secondly, your eye contact. Your eye contact is good, you are looking all over, but it could improve by actually connecting with the audience instead of just looking all around. Your hand gesture, you have good ability to using your hand gesture to enhance your speed, and you are using wide gesture, but yet sometimes you are just doing like this. So either you can steeple your hand or leave aside when you are not using it for other gestures. And then facial expressions. Your facial expressions, while you are in the most part of your speech, your facial expression are little bit flat, but when you came to the conclusion, you smiled. So I can get from that, at the first part of the speech, when you are describing the consequences and all that, you were showing little unhappiness, and when you came to the conclusion, you become happy. So in the end, I congratulate you. To summarize, your voice is good, your delivery is good, your hand gesture is good. Area for improvement is moving for a purpose, and to include some anecdote to make your speech more deep. Over to you.
One minute of silence for the judges. request our second last contestant, Toastmaster Shams. Toastmaster Shams.
Fellow Toastmasters, honorable judges, and contest chair, I congratulate Toastmaster Rabia for having selected a topic that I observe every second or third person in the society is affected with. And I am sure this is something that the ordinary people experience in their daily life. So I appreciate you to have selected such a lively and pertinent topic. Toastmaster Rabia, let me first comment on some brilliant portions of his speech. Like it feels as I am broken into pieces when you spreaded the leaves of a flower around. I need to tap my back to say it's nothing, let's move forward. It's only you who knows you very much, more than anybody else. These are the excerpts of your delivery, which I'm sure must have helped you accelerate the message that you wanted to convey to others. Toastmaster Rabia, now let's see how can you improve. The areas which I observed were a little bit needed focus. I felt that the number of pauses or the length of pauses was not ideal. See the benefits of pause. If you give out a brilliant idea and take a little pause, you will be getting the attention of audience, and it will help the audience to restore their attention. Let's see what comes next. Psychologically, it is known to be one of the techniques. Next thing that I observed you need was that if you could add or share some of your personal experiences, examples. You know, when you add your personal experience or some of the experience of your friend or from your family, it adds value. In summation, the reflection of your speech told the audience that you worked very well, you rehearsed your speech and prepared. What you need, the pauses and sharing your personal antidotes. The contest here.
One minute of silence for the judges. like to call the last contestant of the day, that is Toastmaster Saman. Toastmaster Saman.
Fellow Toastmasters, Mr. President, today we experienced a mix of emotions, a variety of states. Love for ourselves, inspiration, sadness, and finally a sense of freedom, only in a matter of 4 to 6 minutes. And I give full credit to TM Rabia for taking us through this maze of sensations, this maze of possibilities so well. Thank you so much. Noticed how Rabia started? She started with a preamble, locuting a poem in a captivating way to instantly capture her audience's attention. She did this with her shoulders back, her arms, her fingers clasped in front of her, in what I believed to be a loosely confident manner. The hallmark of a good speech, I believe, is the speaker's ability to connect with their audience, to deliver the message in such a way that each and every member of the crowd feels as if the message has been tailored for them. TM Ramya, you attempted it in a variety of ways. Firstly, through your facial expressions, when you screwed your eyes at everyone hates me. Or when you use both your facial expressions and your hand gestures, when you clenched your fist and furrowed your brows, loudly enunciating, why is this happening to me? The inflections of your tone of voice, when you enunciated the entire poem in a sing-along manner, and finally, your movements, small yet strategic. The third thing that I liked most about your speech was the message, the crux of these entire 5 minutes. But how it's okay to not have the world approve of you as long as one is comfortable inside, as long as one is living true to your values, true to their values. Dear Rabia, your body language, the artful use of your body language, and the use of the flower petal made this entire message reverberate with life. Kudos to you on that. Now, how can we make this good speech even better? I would say an artful use of language can add colors to your speech. I personally believe that a person with a good vocabulary, a speaker with a good vocabulary, is an artist. They have to their disposal a multi-hued palette of colors to paint their experiences for themselves and for their listeners. TM Rabia, you have the potential to be a great artist. Secondly, your message was well delivered. How you could still make it more personalized by adding a story to it. Psychologists say that telling a story is one of the great ways to make your speech memorable. So I encourage you to use this mechanism as much as possible, because as I believe, everybody has a story. Thank you so much.
With that said, the evaluations have finally come to an end, but the contest hasn't. Moving on, I would now like to request the judges to compile their results. 1 minute of silence.
Is that you are not allowed to use too many R's and R's. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, journey of 1,000 miles start with a single step. My journey of Toastmasters started in 2011 when I called distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Sleep, and he invited me over to Karachi Toastmaster, and room was downstairs, Princess Hall. That was my first day at Toastmasters, and I became member the same day. And I got bought out with the idea, and the next week I gave my icebreaker. What I noticed was it was a small gathering, and we had few members, and one of the members that we've gathered today to pay tribute, his name was Asad Rafi. He was on a wheelchair, and he was speaking with eloquence and confidence, and I did not know about Asad until I was introduced to him by Dr. Salim and distinguished Toastmaster Samir. Toastmaster Asad was not only a Toastmaster, he was a world in its own. He gave too much to the people, not in Karachi Toastmasters Club, not only in Pakistan, but world over. Those of you, I believe, who've joined recently, I must tell you that Toastmaster Asad was a sports lover, And I can appreciate, like myself, who being a sports lover, what does that feel? He was a cricket lover and he would enjoy playing cricket. At the age of 17, he was diagnosed Frederick ataxia. For those who do not know what that is, it just is a disease which gradually cripples you. So that's at the age of 17 he suffered that disease and he became wheelchair bound after a couple of years or so. But Asad was the one who was never going to give up. So that is one thing that Asad would have. He could actually have easily stayed home, but he continued to get associated with various activities, and one of them was Toastmasters. My first year at the Toastmasters, Dr. Salim was about to install a new committee, and he called me and he said, would you mind doing Vice President Education? And I asked, what is this Vice President Education? And he said, well, you chalk out the program and then etc. this and that. And I apologized. And I said, I've got too much on my plate, there's no way I can give time, and I don't want to get into something which I don't feel that I'll be committed to do that. And then he said that no, we are all there and it will be very good if you can do that. And then I said, who's the president? And he said, Asad Rafi. And I immediately said yes. There was no way I could say no to the name that Toastmaster Salim mentioned. At that time when Toastmaster Asad, I agreed to Toastmaster Asad being president, and I did not know what his strengths were. If you could just come into the meeting, gradually he was becoming weak, we could know that. But as president, he did everything what able person could do. He would just be over the top of everything. Monthly meetings, executive meetings at St. Club every month. And he would call the meeting well in advance. Weekly agenda, he would just follow up how many guests. He would just send short messages, how many guests, who is coming, what is the theme of the meeting, etc. So it was so much of learning to work with Toastmaster Asad Rafi that I think that few other places where I've learned, just 1 year spending as Vice President Education, but moreover to work with him. Asad Rafi's journey was full of excitement in spite of his disabilities. He would travel around the world. He was a fun lover. Roger Federer was someone he would look up to, and then he was involved in swimming as well. So he was a swimmer also. So I think he was inspiration, and also he would go for inspirational talks to local schools, to LUMS and other places. So his motivation was another wheelchair bound person whose name was W. Mitchell. And he, in his speeches, he would call and he would quote W. Mitchell saying that it does not matter what happens to you, what matters is what you do about it. So when I look at today's speech, and when I look at it, that does it matter when people say that you are not good enough, I remember Asad Rafi and my advice from WHL that Toastmaster Asad Rafi gave, that it does not matter what happens to you, what matters is what you do about it. Madam Contest Chair. We are very fortunate today that Mr. Khalid Rafi, who is Toastmaster, Asad Rafi's father, who is here, and I would like to invite him to say a few words, sir.
First of all, let me thank you very much for saying such kind words for us. And I see you have said all the things I was going to say. But to start with, Asad Rafi was a very dedicated Toastmaster. He took this Toastmaster so seriously. I remember when the meeting was called off for some reason, he was very disappointed and he was all the time feeling why it was called off. But like you mentioned, he became present. And I remember he used to prepare some meticulously for his meetings. We want to know what the theme was that you said, and he would spend hours. And he was very, very dedicated Toastmaster. And like you said, he was traveling a lot and he must have lived a full life. And his favorite city was London. And the reason was that it was so wheelchair friendly. His mission in life was to have ramps in Karachi as far as possible. And like you mentioned that he was a motivational speaker, the Toastmaster helped him a lot in his speech. I remember one year he went to London with me and he was invited by the Toastmaster to speak at some girls' school. And there were about 30 girls of about age 15 to 16. And I was amazed at the confidence which he spoke and his eye contact and the end of the speech, the girls gave him a standing ovation and he just looked a normal person. And that's how we did it. We felt he was a normal person. He lived a full life, mashallah. He swam, and he said he loved cricket. His mentor was Federer, because he said never give up. That was it. And like you rightly said, that his motto was, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. Thank you very much indeed for honoring him.
I would like to invite President of Karachi Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Talabin Hamid, to come and present the memento to Mr.
Thank you so much. Apologies for hogging the stage and abusing my privilege as president of the club. I would just like to point out that I feel emotional right now. I feel honored, not only because Toastmaster Asad Rafi is being honored today, but his father is here. I also share my mentor, Roger Federer, Toastmaster Asad Rafi. And not only that, Mr. Khalid Rafi would be proud to note that two of his proteges are heading two different Toastmasters clubs today and following in his son's footsteps. So truly a proud moment for all of us. My gratitude to Mr. Khalid Rafi knows no bounds for coming here and attending this event with us. Back to the contest chair.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Reeb, Toastmaster Talha, and Toastmaster Asad Rafi's father. I would now like to invite all the contestants to come forward for the question and answer session. All the contestants.